Hey everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. My name is Ben and I have the honor of serving on the kids ministry team here at Prestonwood. I'm excited to dive into the devotional today. Over the past few weeks, we have been talking about the 7 I am statements of the book of John that Jesus says. And as Jack Raymond said a few weeks ago, that when Jesus says I am, he's actually referring way back to the book of Exodus, when God tells Moses to tell everyone, who sent you? Say, I am sent you. So when Jesus is saying that, he's saying, I am God. So we've talked about some of my favorite ones so far. Talked about the I am the bread of life and I am the light of the world. But today we're going to look at one that you might not know quite as well. It's I am the door or the gate. So we're going to be looking at John 10, verse 7. So I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. So verse 7 says, Therefore Jesus said again, Very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I have come that they may have a life and have it in full. So they teach us in seminary that context is key. Context is so important. So back in chapter 9, Jesus heals the blind man. He heals him and he goes before the Pharisees. The blind man does, or no longer blind man. And the Pharisees are questioning him. And eventually they get kind of angry with him, so they cast him out. So Jesus goes to the man and he says, I am the Son of Man. I came to heal those who could not see and to make blind men be able to see. The Pharisees look at him kind of bewildered, look at Jesus and like, are we blind? And Jesus says, because you say you can see, the guilt remains. So yes, you are blind. Then he opens up into our section when he talks about shepherding. So he warns them about the one who climbs over the fence, because those are thieves and robbers. He tells us about the one who enters in through the door and how that's the shepherd. And he knows each sheep by name and they know his voice. And the sheep will follow the shepherd because he's not a stranger. They know him. So Jesus said all this, and they didn't fully understand. Oftentimes, when Jesus would say something, people around him didn't fully grasp it. And that's when he dives into verse 7 through 10. But even though they might not have understood, the Pharisees would have made a connection in their brain. They would have made a connection to Jeremiah 26, when God's warning about the shepherds who scattered the flock, and how God promises to gather them back up and to put the branch of David, will be Jesus, over them. And so that's where we find verse 7 and 10. Jesus removes any question when he says, I tell you, I am the gate or the door to the sheep. All those who have been before him have been robbers and thieves. So this was undoubtedly a reference to the Pharisees, the teachers of the law. But then we look at verse 9, which says, I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. By believing in Jesus and choosing to follow him with our lives, we can be saved. There are those out there, such as the thief, who comes to only steal, kill, and destroy. But the good news, the beautiful news of Jesus, is that he came so we might have a life and have it in abundance. That's the whole reason he came. So if we remember 3 things from this section, remember that salvation comes through Jesus alone. Jesus says right there, those who come through him will be saved. He is the one and only way. Back then, the pen that would hold the sheep would become a big circle, and there would only be one gate, one way in and out, and that is through Jesus. That's what Jesus is saying, that just like the pen, there's only one way. The second thing is that abundant life comes through Jesus. Only through Jesus can we have life and have it in abundance. Because here's the thing, he made us to be with him. Jesus calls each of us by name like a shepherd, and he died for our sins because he loves us. We were made to worship God and to follow him, and Jesus says, hey, you follow me, you will be doing what you were made to do in life, so you will have a full and abundant life. And the last thing is that teaching is only through Jesus. And what I mean by that is just like 1 John 4 says. It says, you will know those who come in the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses Jesus came in the flesh is from God. And every spirit that does not confess Jesus, does not acknowledge Jesus, is not from God. And that's where we see that only those who teach Jesus are teaching the true gospel. This all reminds me of a story. There was a scholar who spent time in the Middle East. And one day the shepherd was showing him his pen to where he holds his sheep. And the scholar noticed there was 4 walls and just one opening. And the shepherd explained that he would lay down in the opening so no sheep could get out without him noticing and no wolves could get in without him noticing. He was the door. Jesus is our door. He's the only way to be saved and the only one we should follow. He is the way, the truth, and the life, as we're going to figure out later on. I don't want to go too far into it. I hope each of you has been enjoying these I am statements. And if you want to get ready for next week, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I can't wait for us next week to learn about Jesus being the good shepherd. Have a blessed week. Bye.